Hey everyone, my name is Justin Bellman, and today I wanted to explain and break down some of the most infamous editing choices in TV and film. This is a little bit different from my usual video, so if you like it, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. Let's get started. So the first clip I'm going to look at here is from Bohemian Rhapsody. It's when Queen meets John Reid. It is infamous as a scene of just bad editing. So let's take a look.
Yes, midday at the club. Don't be drunk. That's what he said. Look a bit nervous, Brian. John, I'm fine. Usually so particular. Just got to be cool. Wow. I didn't know he was fancy dressed, Fred.
I've got to make an impression, darling.
You look like an angry lizard. It's your best work. Very subtle. You're gonna fly away. Can I borrow it for Sunday church?
Okay, so right off the bat, what I'm noticing here is that a lot of this scene is reaction shots. And I know what they're going for. The tone here is right. It's just everyone getting settled in, and there's no clear direction as to where everyone is shooting their attention. Obviously, a lot of it's being shot at Freddy for what he's wearing, but overall, even with the quick cuts, it feels very much like, a bunch of people settling down and about to have a meeting or eat a meal or whatever. And then you look and the cuts are more organized and oriented towards John Reid sitting down. So you have this shot where he's in the background, then you have this shot where he's behind Brian, you have the chair, you have everyone looking. This is something that a lot of editing teachers will teach you, is that you don't need to have every single tiny bit of continuity. The most important thing when you're editing a scene is storytelling. So when I look at a scene like this and you see the chair coming down, Brian looks, Freddy looks, and then John looks at the other two, and then Brian looks at what he's looking at, and then the other two look awkwardly at him, and then John sits down and looks around at everyone else. As much as that timing is realistic, the shot choice is super weird. So let's get going.
If it goes well, if it happens, I've got a promotional tour of Japan in mind.
We'll want more.
Every band wants more.
Every band's not Queen.
Okay, so I do have a little bit of an issue of shots like this after he says, "Every band's not Queen." And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 reaction shots back to back. That's not it's not really good. But like I said, it's tough to tell what they're going for here because a lot of it's inconsistent, and having so many quick cuts in succession like that can really kind of mess with your pacing. Now, I'm not saying you have to go full Birdman and make your entire movie one fucking shot, and I'm also definitely not diminishing the importance of reaction shots. When you have this many characters in one scene, you really have to start prioritizing your reaction shots because obviously everyone in this scene wants something, but we don't have to show every single reaction every time that a reaction is prompted. Does that make sense? I don't know. Let's move on. So the next thing we're going to look at here is from The Great Gatsby. It's Gatsby's Wild Ride. Now this scene is notorious, especially for its ADR. If you don't know what ADR is, it's automatic dialogue replacement. It's basically a lot of scenes when you shoot outdoors and you don't want to show a boom mic, or if your audio gets corrupted, or if you just don't like the take. There's a million different reasons for why you would do ADR. But basically during post-production, you bring the actors in to reread their lines and match with their mouth and movements and hopefully match the environment of the original day on set. Obviously just to the best of their ability. This doesn't always work, but there are a couple other issues in this scene as well. So let's do it.
What is your opinion of me anyhow?
My opinion?
Yes, your opinion. I don't want you to get the wrong impression from all these bizarre accusations you must be hearing. A pack of lies, I guarantee. You've heard the story.
Oh, well, I will tell
Yeah, this ADR is trash. Now there are plenty of movies where mouths don't match words. If you're ever wondering why, it's either they chose audio from a different take or they did ADR. But right here in the shot where it's a little bit farther away, his mouth is a little bit obscured by the sun. So they do that on purpose because they don't want you to be reading his lips, but it clearly doesn't match.
Here, a pack of lies, I guarantee. You've heard the story.
Oh,
Yeah, he's clearly saying a different part of the line there, which isn't honestly a huge problem. If you were just watching this movie, just in a theater or at home and not nitpicking and analyzing it like I am, you would never notice that in a million years.
I was brought up in America but educated at Oxford because all my...
Ooh, that was a little bit worse. Let me go back and look at that again. What does he say here? I was brought up in America, but watch his mouth.
I was brought up in America, but educated.
He doesn't say anything. His mouth is just, like, that's a little bit messier. If he was saying something else, it's a little bit easier to kind of distract from. But yeah, no, I don't think that's intentional at all.
In Oxford, because all my ancestors have been educated there for many years. You see, it's a family tradition.
The way he spoke. No wonder people thought he was lying.
After my family died, I ran into a great deal of money. After that, I lived like a young prince in all the capitals of Europe.
Wow, all of these faraway shots. It's just, I mean, obviously it's all ADR. Obviously he's not actually there. And the ADR is not done well. Not because of Leonardo DiCaprio, but clearly there was something wrong with the direction or something happened to the actual audio file where they couldn't do what they needed to do to it to make it actually sound like he was in the car. But it really sounds like they didn't try. It really feels like they were probably in a predicament where they could either make it sound clean or make it sound real, but I don't know. I don't think this sounds good. It just sounds like he's doing voiceover. Like, when you hear Tobey Maguire's voiceover that's in his head, there's no difference in audio quality or, like, environment or anything or, yeah, or reverb or... There's no effects on it at all. I mean, obviously there's effects on it to clean it up, but, like, my point is, between Toby's audio and Leo's audio, there's no difference, and there should be. Clearly, both of these were added in post, and you shouldn't be able to tell that Leo's was, and it's really messy that they didn't try harder on that. And to be honest, I don't have a problem with a lot of this in terms of, like, the cuts or anything. It's supposed to feel chaotic. That feels very much like a creative choice, because this scene is, you know, you're getting more and more into Gatsby as a character. The scene's literally called Gatsby's Wild Ride. There's some weird things in it, like this old picture doesn't look real. And I know a lot of this movie is, it's very colorful. I know that Baz Luhrmann wanted a lot of this to feel very, like, extra, I guess. See, and that's just kind of what bothers me, is that, like, this looks very pretty. Like, this shot especially that I'm looking at right here looks very pretty, even though I'm pretty sure that's a CGI forehead on Toby there. I'm pretty sure they're both CGI in that. 100%. I'm pretty sure this entire shot is a composite. But I don't take issue with a VFX shot being a VFX shot. What I take issue with are shots like this one, where you're combining your bad ADR, your not great color matching, like they don't look like they're really flush with the background at all, and there's really no light from the rest of it on them. Like, all the light's bouncing on the car, but none of the light is bouncing on them at all. And the green screen isn't good here either. Like, they don't look, it's just nothing about this shot is good. And there are very few things that are good about this scene. Like, does this look real to you? Does this look like people are driving? Like, and that's where things get a little bit messy when you're trying to break down editing like this, because is it just bad editing and bad direction, or were a lot of these actually creative decisions that they wanted to be in their movie? And when it comes to things like the colors and Toby's voiceover and a lot of the CG and VFX builds, yeah, obviously a lot of that was intentional and creative. But the implementation of those creative things and like the really shady ADR and like not totally being aware of what you need to do in post in order to make your characters feel flush with the rest of the environment, a lot of the implementation of that VFX stuff is not very good. This was a very messy movie post-production wise, and everything otherwise. So let's wrap this up with the coup de grace of horrible editing. One of the most infamously poorly edited scenes in filmmaking history, the Catwoman basketball scene. I'm sorry.
Seriously.
Well, you know my friend Sally? Well, that's what she says about me. She says that I'm, fun deficient.
Oh, I don't believe that.
That's what she says.
Okay, real quick, right off the bat, that's decent ADR. You can tell a little bit that she didn't say that on set, but her lips match. It sounds like she's like subtly laughing while she's subtly laughing in the scene. It just feels very diegetic.
One-on-one?
Who? Me and her?
Yeah, come on.
You want to do this?
Why? Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy shit. Holy shit. Okay. Alright, well, hold on. Hold on. A few things. So first things first, obviously this is batshit insane. And I'm also, did they reuse the shot? This shot. Is this shot here? Wait, is there a cut there? There's a cut there. Why is there a cut there? What? Okay, I've watched this scene in preparation for this video, and I did not notice how many hidden cuts there were in this one little thing here. Yeah, there's 2 times there's a reuse shot. It's shot number 1, shot number 2, shot number 1, shot number 2. And then they just extend shot number 2 and expect you not to notice. But also, like, what is she even doing here? Like, what is she doing right here? Whoosh. Like, what is that? Is it going under her leg? Because it's not. It's not going under her leg. She's reaching down with her right arm and then grabbing it with her right arm. That's not how bodies work. Like, you can get the movement they're trying to go for, but no, it's not good. And how about this jump right here, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cuts, not including that reaction shot, that would be 8. In that one jump alone, there are 7 cuts. That's a span of about 3.5 to 4 seconds. There are 7 cuts. That's too many cuts. Let's keep going. Okay, I have problems. This whole scene is cut like a sexy dance scene, and they're surrounded by 10-year-olds. Like, he starts playing and she's like, come on, you don't know what you're doing. And then she does nothing. She does nothing at all. She touches him, which is a foul, but like, can you, like they're like rubbing on each other and like she booty bumps him, and it's supposed to be like this like sexy dance almost, where they're kind of like, you know, bobbing and weaving within each other and all this stuff. And look at this. What? I may be nitpicking direction and not editing, but I'm gonna nitpick both for a second here. There's so many shots going so quickly that you don't notice how fucked up some of this stuff is. But literally 1 frame apart, there's a shot of them giving each other like very clear fuck me eyes. Next frame, children cheering them on. Like, what? No. No. No, don't do that. Oh my god. So the reason I'm gonna blame editing for this, even though the director could have very well come in and been like, hey, I need that ass shot in there, and I need him showing his abs, otherwise you're fired. Perfectly possible. But the reason I'm blaming editing for this is because you can cut things out of your movie. It's okay. This scene is just so tonally confused. And I know the bar is low for a movie that has like, what, a 20 on Rotten Tomatoes? It has a 9. It has a 9 on Rotten Tomatoes. But like, the music and the kids and the setting all say fun, but then these 2 motherfuckers come in and they're like, we're gonna fuck on your basketball court. Like, this is fine. Like, her like doing her little booty bump thing, like whatever, yeah, it's cute, it's fun. But you don't have to show the close-up of her ass when she's doing it, and then you don't have to have Mr. Man over here like waving his abs around. Like, I don't get it, it's so weird. That doesn't make any sense. It goes between hands, it cuts to her face, it cuts to him doing something, it cuts to his POV, which is weird. This could all be 1 shot, or 2 or 3, but not like 12. Okay, she's weaving it between her legs. And Catwoman shit happens, and now they're gonna fuck again. And that's another weird thing too, is that like clearly this was supposed to be some sort of intimate moment for a sec where they like stop and look in each other's eyes, and the kid's like, hey, can we have our ball back? Like a snap you out of the moment type deal. But it happens so quickly that because they're trying to keep up this quick cutty vibe, that they care more about their fast cuts than they do about like doing a correct job. So this scene is a hot mess in general. There's obviously too many cuts. I mean, 7 cuts within 4 seconds is more than Christopher Nolan would do in a Batman Begins fight scene. And the problem with too many cuts when not done correctly is that it just trashes your pacing. And like, this scene is kind of an exception. Why is it so fucking bright in here? And this scene is kind of an exception because it's more of like a music video almost. I stretch to call this a scene. It does tell a story. In the beginning of the scene, she says, my friend calls me fun deficient. Then they have fun. And then at the end of the scene, he's like, you don't seem fun deficient to me. And she's like, ah, okay. So fine. By the most basic tenets, it is technically a scene. But the music doesn't really match the scene. It's fun, but it's also a little bit sexy, and there's a lot of kids around. The shots don't really match the tone. because they show kids a lot. Everything just seems kind of confused, honestly. And a lot of this is definitely directing choices. I don't know if this scene should definitely be shit on as much as it is for its editing, but it's hard to ignore that a lot of these were creative decisions and a lot of these were intentional decisions, like reusing the shot of her going like this and then it goes up her arm and then she does this again and it goes up her arm again and then they finish that shot. Like it was clear that they're trying to show a lot of action happening very quickly. They're trying to shoot it almost like a fight scene, but it's not a fight scene, it's an action scene, and I'm sure that like for like her big jump at the end, maybe that wasn't even really her. I think that was her jumping off the wall, but that was way too many cuts for that to look impressive. I don't know, like I said, that movie is a hot mess, but that scene especially is a hot mess. Alright, that is all the editing we're going to go over today. If you would like me to go over more, let me know in the comments down below. I'd be into looking at more bad editing. Maybe we could focus more on television. I would be down for tackling good editing choices as well. Kind of looking at what makes good editing good, because I know that is actually more confusing for people than why bad editing is bad. But if you have any suggestions of good or bad editing that you think I should review, make sure to leave them in the comments down below and I will check them out. Alright, like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you have not done so already, make sure to hit that bell so you're notified every single time I upload a new video, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.